Hi, so the family that I chose to do this project on is the Hunter family. This is Chad. He recently graduated with a bachelor's in recreation management and he works as a recreation therapist. He is planning on entering the police academy in the next year, and he's 25 years old. This is McCall. She works as a freelance photographer and she's starting her master's degree in marriage and family therapy soon at BYU Provo. And this is their daughter, Charlie, who is 9 months old. In total, the Hunters have about $15,000 in checking accounts, and they have a balance of $8,000 in a savings account. They have no debt of any kind, and they like to look into a no down payment home loan or low. But they are hoping to do, after doing this assignment, I realized that the best option is a 20% down payment. Chad is working full-time as a recreation therapist, making $42,000 a year. McCall is only working part-time as a photographer, and her monthly average income is $2,500. It is not fixed. It is dependent on whether or not she books clients. The average gross monthly income for both is $6,000, and according to the 25% rule, they can afford a $1,500 monthly mortgage. They are looking for a class of 12 with 2 or 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. They would like to have a fenced grassy yard, and they also want to live within 20 minutes of work as well as school. This is their dream home located in Orem, Utah. The list price is $287,500. The monthly principal and interest payment is $1,000.63. While this is a more expensive option, the house meets their desires exactly. It has a really nice fenced-in backyard. It's only 10 minutes from extended family. It has 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and there's also a patio and vegetable garden. This is the modest home. It is located slightly further from their desired location, but it is still within 20 minutes of work and school. It is located in Springville. The list price is $205,000. The monthly principal and interest payment is $978.70. This home is slightly different from the last one. There are 3 bedrooms, but there's only 1 bathroom. It has a fenced yard and patio, and there's also a fireplace within. This is the family budget. I updated the long-term savings in my budget in order to reflect the family's goal of saving for a greater down payment, and so I changed this to $800. I also found them a more realistic rental option for the time being, since I decided that renting will be their best housing option, and the rent is $1,050. I also adjusted the photography expenses, babysitting expenses, and miscellaneous category in order to provide for these changes. This is their savings plan. So they already have $8,000 in their savings account, like I mentioned earlier. So I put $3,000 of that towards the emergency fund, and I also put $5,000 of that towards their down payment. So this reflects their updated monthly savings of $800. And something that I realized that is important is that because the family's only living here for a little while, and because they are not able to really afford buying a home at this point, they will be renting, but I felt like they could still reach the dream home goal, and so I still want them to be saving for a future 20% down payment. And so by investing in a 3% bond mutual fund, they will have enough money saved up for a 20% down payment of roughly $58,000 by the time that they are planning on moving from Provo or the Orem area. And their emergency fund would reach their goal amount in about 3 years. So these are the optimum mortgage terms. And even though they will be renting, like I mentioned, I still am using the dream home numbers because I want them to be able to save for a greater down payment in the future, which I feel is totally feasible. So for the 30-year loan, the interest rate that I found was 3.625%. This is assuming that they still have a wonderful credit score of over 740. And then for the 15-year loan with the same information is 3.25%. Both have upfront costs, but 0 points, which is great. So for taxes, their property tax for the dream home is $102 monthly or $1,224 annually. The home mortgage tax deductions. So with the home, they would be choosing the standard deduction because that would make more sense. But with the home, they should choose the itemized deduction because it is more than the standard deduction. And then this is the tax liability without the home and with the home. So there's about a $2,000 difference there. In terms of transportation, the Hunter family currently owns a Dodge Ram Hemi truck, which they paid for in full, so they paid cash for that truck, and they would like to trade it in for a van or an SUV. Based on this website, the trade-in estimated value is $12,000, and so the estimated monthly payment, including taxes and fees for this van, the 2016 Toyota Sienna, would be $282.47 a month. And this slide is just the transportation continued. This is the 5-year breakdown for the total price of car ownership. So this includes insurance, maintenance, repairs, taxes, and fees, etc. In regards to long-term debts, the family only has tithing, which is $600 a month, and the car loan, which is $282.47 a month, and this is a 36-month loan. As of now, there are no personal or student loans or credit card debt, and so the monthly long-term debt is about $882.47. So this is the PITI for the dream home. As you can see, the principal and interest is right here, and then we add the property tax and home insurance, which would bring us to $1,213 a month. This is important right here because I did initially have about 11% down payment, but I realized after doing all of the math that it would make more sense to avoid paying the PMI and do a 20% down payment. So now on to the 36% rule. According to this rule, the family will qualify for $2,160. And so what we need to do is subtract the amount of current debt minus the monthly mortgage payment. And so we are left with $1,277.53, and this is available for a monthly mortgage payment. And this includes, the current debts. And so as you can see, the updated monthly payment is less than the amount that is available, which means that we would qualify for a loan as long as this family is able to afford that 20% down payment, which I believe they would if they spend more time saving for that. Now on to the pros and cons for buying versus renting. Some pros for buying is that you would have greater freedom within the house, meaning that you can make repairs or renovations, you can paint or anything like that within the house and not have to worry about the landlord. There's also resale value, so your money is going into the house and you're not just wasting it essentially. A pro for renting is that there are lower monthly costs. You're essentially only paying for the rent and utilities, and sometimes the utilities are actually included in rent. And then another pro is that you have the ability to leave when the contract is up, so you're not locked into it for years and years and years. You're able to leave when your contract is up or renew it as desired. Some cons are that buying a home is very expensive. Like I talked about earlier, I had done the math and found that by having a lower down payment, you have to pay PMI, which brings the monthly mortgage to roughly $2,300 a month, which is way too expensive for my family right now to afford. Another con is that you're locked into the house for longer. So it's not like the apartment or house that you're renting. Some cons for renting is that you have no creative freedom with the apartment or house, and you're essentially throwing away money or not building any value, like resale value, because you don't own the apartment or house that you're renting. So like I've mentioned before, the Hunter family should hold off on home ownership until they can afford a greater down payment. They would be able to qualify for a loan with a 20% down payment, which would eliminate the need for PMI, which would be awesome. Truthfully, they haven't been saving for as long as they need to, and they also need to start investing. So I think in a couple of years they will be more able and more prepared to buy a home. Right now, renting will be the best option for sure. So this is a breakdown of the total interest paid for the 15-year versus the 30-year. So at first I had a 30-year loan, but I think the 15-year loan will be better in the long run just based off of the total interest that is paid. There's about an $86,000 difference in the total interest, which is pretty astounding when you think about it. This slide talks about the home appreciation. And so using the numbers that were found in our assignment, I found that the home appreciation for the dream home would be $1,447,493.56. For the modest home, which has a price of $205,000, the future value or the home appreciation would be $1,032,000. So I did the difference between monthly mortgage payments, and I found that there was a difference of $234.30. So when plugging that in, I found that the investment amount, by investing in, using the same numbers that were in the assignment, that there is $577,226.70. And that was made simply in investing the difference. So this family would have about $160,000 more by buying the modest home and investing the difference. And so after figuring all of this out, I decided that in the short term, the best housing option for the Hunter family is renting. The family is just unable to pay the necessary 20% down payment, as well as pay the monthly mortgage with their current budget. They're also only temporarily living in the Orem area, so it makes more sense to rent and then start saving for a greater down payment in the future. It is clear that the modest home option would make more money in the long run if the family were to invest the money saved. However, the couple is anxious to plant their roots in a permanent home. Because of this, my idea is that once they are done renting for the next 5 years, and after they have saved enough money for a down payment, they should buy a modest home. Start investing a good chunk of money, make renovations and improvements as necessary, and then eventually sell that home. And with that money made, as well as that money invested, move into their dream home, the home that they are wanting to live in forever, where they can raise their children and grow old together. And so that is my assignment. Like I said, the Hunter family will rent for now and hopefully one day be able to afford their dream home where they can raise all of their children.